All right, today we're looking at integrated scale systems, and the system we're looking at today is root on sixth string scales. There's our root on sixth string, root on fifth string. All right, so you all probably know this root on sixth string scale. And you should be practicing that. But what we're going to do now is make that a little bit more complete. We're going to start another scale with its root on the sixth string. Same scale, same notes. So we have this and this. And then now one more. This one starting with finger 1. And it's good to think of each of those scales as having a parent chord. So in the case of this scale, that I start with my second finger, our parent chord would be this. If you want to take that further, you can break it down into triads for an even more comprehensive practice routine. And the same thing goes here. This scale form here, we have this chord, which essentially is built on the G chord in open position. This is built on the E chord in open position. And this form here is built on the D, or we could do it like this with a third in the bass. So this is an A chord, A chord, and A chord. And in each case, what we're focusing on here is that you're starting this form on finger 2. You're starting this form on finger 4, and you're starting this form on finger 1. This will give you a much more comprehensive approach to playing your scales, because you're playing them from different fingers. And you're spreading out the scale, across the fretboard. Okay, now let's do exactly the same thing starting from root 5. I didn't do a shift there. Instead, I just did a stretch. You can do it with the shifts as well, but I did it with a stretch, sort of keeping me in a region. Okay, and here's my parent chord. Okay, now let's do the same thing from finger 4. And there's my parent chord, like a C chord, A chord. And next one. Okay, and one more time. Parent chord would well, I'll do it just with a third. It's like a G shape, A shape, D shape. You'll notice that when you cycle around in the caged acronym, you're going to end up with C, A, and G, right? A G form. Down here, you're going to have, if you're still in that caged acronym, you're going to have E. And after E comes D, right? And before E comes G. It always works the same way. I've heard caged explained in YouTube videos terribly. You should be, suffice to say, you should be looking for it everywhere you're playing. It doesn't matter, each of these chords that we're playing here they would be also parent chords for more complex sounds like major sevens and dominants and so on. You should always be looking for that because what this is about is understanding the mechanics of the fretboard, like how everything fits together, right? This idea of starting the same scale from different fingers is a very, very effective method to understanding what I'm talking about. So integrate this idea into your practice. I've decided to do a series of lessons that have to do with practice. For those of you who do practice, it's pretty important to know what to practice. So I would advise this very strongly. It naturally will apply to every scale type, every mode type, whether it be blues scales or pentatonic scales, major scales, minor scales, altered scales. It's all going to be the same mechanics on the fretboard. The notes will be different. The mechanics will be the same. All right. That's it. I think that'll be a help for you. I hope you understood that, and I hope it was clear. Thanks very much for stopping by, and we'll see you soon.